Hello, everyone out there. Welcome to Solve It Out. This is Annie here. First, wish you all a very happy new year. So today, my project is on slider. Slider or carousels are quite a common nowadays. Most of it is used in e-commerce platform, also for any testimonials where you can show different reviews of a person, also showing some product details. So carousels are quite a craze. So today I'm going to make a similar type of carousels using a simple logic. You can actually create a beautiful, plain, and working carousel. Here you can see I have created a slider. It's showing the products present in the coffee cafe, and you can see the different coffee images along with it details are going on continuously. You can also click on this button, so it will move forward, and on the back it will move backwards. This will be a Next.js project. Here I have used Tailwind CSS for the CSS, and I've used Framer Motion for the animation. So without using any extra library, we will be creating this beautiful carousel. So are you guys interested? So without any further detail, let's jump on to the code. In VS Code, I have already installed the Next.js app. You can check it here that it's installed with TypeScript and Tailwind CSS. You just have to open the terminal and write npx create next tab at latest, and this will be installed. Next, I have written here a util file where I have taken some constant values, that is a array where the image and the title and descriptions are present. And I have taken some images here which I need to use it. And in page.tsx, I have removed the initial code and have just given a background. You can see a width full, a min height screen, minimum height screen, and a margin auto. And for the display, it's grid and place item center. And have just written the sliders. So these are the only changes that I've created in the initial folder. So there is not much. So now let's run the code here with npm run dev. You can see here, this is the sliders page where I have just given the background color, and the sliders, you can see the name here. So our initial project is running. Now let's code it out. So first we will be creating a slider component. So outside the app folder, we will be creating a component folder. Inside that, we will be creating a slider component. This one we will call in our app. So removing these sliders, I will be calling the slider component. Import slider from components. I'm going to remove this image and we'll save it. So whatever we will be doing, we'll do in this slider component. First, we will be mapping out our images. First here, I will write the CSS for this div. Here, the main div will be showing display grid, place item center, and we'll have two columns. So grid calls 2 with full margin auto, a max width of 5 pixel, and should show a shadow that is of 2 pixel size, and the sides should be rounded or curved, you can say. So it's rounded to pixel. For the next div, the class name will contain width full, display flex, justify content center, align item center, a gap of 4 with a transition transform, is in out, duration 500, and rounded to pixel. Next, we are going to map out the images. So I'm going to import the images from our constant. Images.map The children here must have the index, that is the key value is required. So I have assigned the index here. Next, I'll add the image tag of Next.js, and first I'll import it. In the source, I have given the pic.source and with a width of 400, height of 400, and a class name of widthful, heightful, object fit with cover, a rounded sides. So this is the top left and that is the bottom left. So I'll save and let's first check it out. You can see here that all our images are here with its tiny form. So as we'll move forward, we will change it accordingly. So now all our images are fetched. Now we are going to do this description part, that is the title, the details, and the order now button. This part we are going to code now. So I'll go back to my VS Code, and inside the components I'll create another component called description. I'll call the description inside this slider, and then we are going to code it out. First, I'm going to write the class name here, and here it's like display grid, place item start with full, and a background color with a position relative, and some rounded sides. So this is top right and bottom right. Sides are rounded. Okay. For the next div, I'm removing this description here. The class name will be with the text uppercase and small in size, position absolute, and the position will be from right, it will be 4, and from top 2 with an underline and the underline gap. So with that, I'm going to write here Coffee Cafe, the name of the cafe. So let us check how it's working. So here is the coffee cafe. Now first let's fix the height because it's like jumbled up together. So first let us go to slider.txt, and inside this div let us write a class name here. Now here the display will be block with a width full, height 80, vertical height, object cover, transition all, duration of 500, and ease in out. So these are just the basic ones. Now let us check. Yeah, you can see the height is fixed. Now the images are all fetched together. Okay. Now here we are going to do an optimization. I'm going to clear it out, but first let's write the description component. Then we'll go to the hooks for functionality or the logical part. Okay. So let us go back to the description page. Next, I'm going to import the this constants array so that I can fetch this like title and the description. So here inside the description, let us first import the images from utils slash constants. Here I'm going to map out the images. There will be a div. This div class name will be same of the slider last that I have put the class name. So this class name will be same. Okay, because it's going to maintain the same height. This will be the class name. Okay, I guess it's clear to everyone. Yes, the class name, and inside there will be two divs. One div will contain the element dot title, and its class name will be padding of like upper and top and bottom padding will be 16, Text will be of size 5 XL and font extra bold. And the next div will be of description. So element.sc, and its class name will be, it will be leading relaxed. That is leading is a class name for the line height, and the font will be of medium and text base. Tracking wide is the letter spacing, and height will be 40. The font style will be italic, and this is the color given. Okay, you can actually hover on the css, and the Tailwind CSS will actually show you that what exact like cascading CSS, what is the exact it is used. Okay, so you can get a clear description of that. Here we are going to save it. Here you can see that our texts are showing fine, but it's coming one after the other. We'll fix it quickly, but you can see that all our texts are actually coming. Okay, next we'll create the button here. So this is our button. Now our button is will consist the order now, and the class name is like bg I have given. Background text will be white. It will be of uppercase with the padding on both left, right, and top, bottom. Rounded will be of MD, and margin top and bottom will be of 10. So this is also done. Now you can see here, these are the two buttons here which we can go like for the next, and also we can go to the previous. Okay, so this two button will create now. So after the button, we are going to write a div here, and class name will be with a position of absolute, and from bottom it will be 1 with full flex, justify center, and item center. Okay, we are going to add two more divs for actually for the two buttons. First, we'll import two images from the public folder. Okay, that is left, right. Next, we are going inside this div. We will call that left and right image tag of Next.js. Copy it for the next one also, and just change the name here. We write. We'll add a CSS in the divs, that is a class name of absolute, bottom of 2, right 10, cursor pointer. Same for the next one. Here, position will change a little. Right will be 2 here, and we'll save it. You can see here, these two buttons are already present. See, left and right. Now let's fix it using, fix this, this sizes and this images using our logic. Here in the divs, I want to have to on click function, or on click. Here it's going to click previous for the left one. For the right one, it should have click next. Okay, now this too, as this description component is being called in the slider component, so I want it as a prop, this to function. So here I'm going to write it as a prop here. First, let us define here the type, because without type definition, it's going to show the type error. So I'm not defining the exact type, so I'll just write any here so that it doesn't show any TypeScript error. Okay. So here the error is gone. In slider, we'll call the components. Let us complete the description component one. Okay, so this I have using it as a props, and here also, like, I want to show this whole image part when it is the current image or the current active image. So that time I want to show this part, else this whole part will be hidden. Okay, so to allow this functionality, I will call another props from the slider that will be active image index. The class name, I'm going to write it as a condition. So my backtext, my condition. Here I'm going to write it if active image index, then you will show this, else the whole part will be hidden. Okay, format this. Also, we can add one more fine check here, that is if index is matching with the active index. So fine more check so that the image index, if it matches with the active image index, then it will show the whole div, else it will be hidden. So our description component is almost done. We'll do the animation part after we complete the hooks part in the slider component. Okay, so let's move on to the slider component now. Now here inside the description, we will call the props. So here it will be active image index. Okay, this we will functions, we are going to write it now. First we are going to take a use state. This is the active image, and set active image will first import the use state from React. Next we are going to write the function. So this is const click next. This is the next function. Here the logical part is that if active image is equal to the images dot length minus 1, that is if it reaches the last. Okay, images dot length minus 1 is the array is starting from the 0th index, and so we are taking the length minus 1 to configure the last element. Okay, so if active image goes to the last element, then you should go back to the first element. Okay, means when you are clicking the next, when it reaches the last element, it should return back to the first element. Okay, so that's why set active 0, else it will just increase by 1. Okay, it will just click the next and increase by 1. So this is the logic for the click next. Next we'll write the click previous. So our click previous function is almost equal to the click next. Here the only check is that if the active image reaches the 0th or the first element, then we'll return it to the last element. Okay, that when you're clicking the previous, you have reached the first end of it, then you should go back to the last element. So that's why set active image is images dot length minus 1, or if you are in the middle of the array, then just minus 1 and show the elements. Okay, so this is our click next and click previous function. Next I'm going to use an use effect here. Now to move the sliders by itself, that is without clicking the previous or next, there should be a way where the slides will move automatically. So for that I'm going to use a use effect for the timer and also for the timeout, so that there is no collision between two active images. Here first I'm importing the use effect from React. Now you can see I have taken a const timer and have given the setout function. for the and have called the click next function. Okay, so it will always, the slider will always move forward and with a gap of 5 seconds. Okay, and there is also a clear timeout function where, so that the two active images does not collide with each other and it does not show up any error. That is, when the component is mounting, it is also unmounting after 5 seconds. So this is the whole logic here, and always active image is a dependency here for the use effect. Okay, so almost our logic part here, it is completed. Here I want to give a conditional rendering for the class name. Here you can see the conditional rendering is that if index is equal to the active image, then the whole you know the whole div will be shown or it will be hidden. Okay, also here you have to write here the use client, because we are using the use effect. So this will be a client component for Next.js. So I have saved the slider component here. Now let's go and check the website. You can see our website is working perfectly, like it's moving automatically after 5 seconds to each and every coffee. It's going to the picture, and the coffee image is getting matched with the description using the active image index. Also, let's check us that after cappuccino it's espresso. So if I click the previous, it's showing me the cappuccino. Okay, and if next, it's showing me the espresso. So our next and previous buttons are working fine here. Now here I'm going to show you image optimization that we have done. Okay, if we go to the inspect element and we'll go to the network tab, here the image we have chosen. Now I'll do a refresh here. Okay, if I do a refresh here, you can see three images. The three images is this first image, this second and third. Okay, now this is the fourth image. So total we have 5 coffee images and two left and right arrow image. So other than this 7 images, you cannot find the images are getting re-rendered, which is a common problem in website, that the same images gets re-rendered. So we have prevented this one using this condition rendering. That is, when it is active image, it's going to show, else it will be hidden. So our all the images are present as a stack there. Okay, we are just showing and hiding it. Okay, so there are no re-render of the same images. So this is a huge image optimization. If you guys know it, then it's very good. The one who don't know, it's a quick information for them. Okay, so now the only thing left is the uh, animation part. So we'll quickly install the framer motion. So our framer motion is installed. Now we'll import motion from the framer motion. Now here I will apply it in this two divs. Okay, so we'll wrap it up with a motion.div here. Inside the motion.div, I'm going to add some functionalities. First, going to add initial, where the opacity will check first that if the index is equal to the active image index, then it will be 0, and if not, then 0.5. Okay, and the scale will again check it and will increase and decrease accordingly. After the initial, next will be animate. So inside animate, it is almost same as the initial, like it will check with the index and then the active image index. accordingly it will show or it will hide its place. Okay. You can go to the docs of the framer.motion and have a much detailed review about this functionalities. Finally, I'm going to add the transition here where ease will be linear and duration will be 2 seconds, and here the x-axis duration is 1. Okay. And I'll write here a class name. This is the normal CSS, so it will be just with full. So our motion.div portion is done. Let us save it and we are going to check it. You can see here our animation is working perfectly according to the slider change. The caption and its details is coming beautifully with the animation. There are more animations there for framer.motion. You guys can check it out and apply as you need it. Our next button and previous buttons are also working fine. So this was all about the slider tutorial, and the details of this tutorial, or you can say the GitHub link, will be provided in the description section. So this is Annie signing off today. Do comment down below if you have any doubts regarding this, and we'll meet again in a new project.